Okay, so we're in the middle of a whole series of questions about. So we yesterday. So Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov said that even if somebody wants to invite somebody to his house and he wants him to stay, maybe that's what these guys are going to do on me. They're going to say, we're making a neder against you if you don't let us stay in your house on Shabbos. We might just have this halacha l'maisa coming right now. But
does your nephew's up for
yes, Aaron's son.
Aaron's up for perfect.
You got to tell us how the story ends, by the way, on Motzei Shabbos.
Oh, well, fine. Okay, listen, the story might just end that I'll be in Besmedrish the whole night, and my kids will sleep in my bed. Well, we'll find out. No, I think he has a place. I think they have a place. But either way, so Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov says that just like we said in negotiations, a guy can make a neder even though it's not a proper neder. It's not a neder because he was only using it for negotiations. So the same thing, we're trying to get somebody to stay in your house. That's also. So we had two shilohs. One, do the Chachamim disagree with Rabbi ben Yaakov? And two is if they do disagree, who do we pasken like? So we asked the kasha on the top of Chafdal and Manalev from the guy who was making a neder. He's making a neder from a person that if his son doesn't accept 2 barrels of wine and wheat, then he's going to make a neder for him. So then he said that the reason. So we said, okay, so it must be that you see Rosh Hashanah ben Yaakov will hold that it was a proper neder, right? If not for the whole reason that the recipient says, the reason why you wanted to give me the wine is to be mechabed me. Shine, you were mechabed me. Now I got the covet, so therefore the neder was kept. So therefore he doesn't have to keep it. So then we said, okay, it's mashma. That's the only reason why he doesn't have to keep it. But if Stamaza, he would have to keep it. So you see that Rosh Hashanah ben Yaakov would. So it can't be Rosh Hashanah ben Yaakov because he holds that anytime you try and convince somebody to eat by your house, that's not a neder. So it must be the Chachamim. So you see that the Chachamim disagree and they hold that it is a neder. Right? So that's how we said that was the kasha. So we said that no, the guy Rosh Hashanah ben Yaakov would say that it's not a. Like he said, Rosh Hashanah ben Yaakov, Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov would say that that's not a problem, and because it is a proper neder, because a guy is going to be upset. He's going to say, "You treated me like a dog," right? Meaning a dog never gives, and dogs only take. So the guy tells him, "I'm trying to give you a present. You don't want to take the present, so then why don't you let me give you the present? So I'm not a dog." So that's a strong neder. The guy would be very unhappy if he doesn't let him keep the things. Fine. So that's the question number one. Question number two is similar. It's around 10 lines down from the top Chafdal and Amud Aleph. Maybe a little more, 12 lines. Yeah. So it says Tashema. You have it? Tashema. Now the first neder, the first kasha we had was the person giving is making the neder. Now we're saying that the person taking is making a neder. I'm making a neder that you're not going to get hana from me. Unless you give to my son kur shel chitin ushtei chavei shayin, right? You have to give him a kur of chitin and 2 barrels of wine. Remeir says he's not allowed to get hana from him until he actually gives him the wine because he made a neder against it. No, the Chacham say you're allowed to be mad to this even without a Chacham. Why? This is a yeshivish term. It's as if I was makabelit, right? Meaning, why is it that a person wants to get a gift, right? Because he wants to be machabed the person. So here the guy could say, okay, so you wanted to give me a gift and I made a neder, I don't want it. So you know what? We're going to make it as if I was makabel, right? And I'm sorry. I think I explained it wrong. But basically, what happened is the guy, somebody wanted to give him a present, and the guy says, "You're not allowed to give me a present." I'm sorry. That's what I'm getting mixed up with the first case. The second case is the guy, the recipient goes to him and says, "Give me a present. If you don't give me these 2 barrels of wine and a thing of wheat, then I'm going to make a neder against you." Again, the recipient says, he's like hijacking him. He's saying, "You better." He's what's the word? Not hijacking. What's the word? He's when you try and force the guy to pay you money, like the mafia. They not swindle. What's the word?
Wrong arm.
There's better
Blackmail?
word.
Blackmail?
There you go, Naftali. He's blackmailing. He's saying, I don't know what the blackmail is. He says, "I'm going to make another. I'm not going to be better." So don't benefit from me.
Yeah, that's
Right?
not
Okay,
blackmail.
sure.
Blackmail is when I have something on you and I'll reveal it.
Okay, well, it's okay. That's true, but this is sort of like the guy tells him, "I'm going to make another. You're not going to benefit from me if you don't give me 2 barrels of wine and a thing of wheat for my kid." So the question is that considered a neder or not? So that's a machlokes, right? The Tanakam and the Chachamim. So we say that it's according to the Chachamim, it's not a neder. Why? He kept the neder because the guy, the recipient, can say, "You know what? You didn't give me the wine and the wheat. It's as if I took it. Let's make it as if I could." Why was the guy begging him for the stuff? Because he wanted to be mechubed from him. Right? He wanted to be mechubed from him. So since he wanted to be mechubed from him, so he says, "Okay, you know what? You don't want to give it to me, but we don't want to make a neder either." He regrets the neder. He says, "You know what? Okay." So it says, "If I took it, ki'ilu es kabalti." Right? So then that's why it's not a neder. So what's the kasha? So time adoma, and what's the raya? So time
You
adoma.
see them.
Yeah.
I'm sure that whoever this Reb Shalom is staying by, the guy paid a lot of money to have the Rebbe in his house for Shabbos. The Rosh Hashiva, I should say, paid a lot of money for it.
I'm sure. And the question is, would he be happy with his Ke'ilu the Rebbe came? Mastoma not. Mastoma, he would not be happy with that. But yeah. So anyway, so Taima Domarini Ke'ilu was Kabalti. That the only reason why we're saying it's not a neder is because he says it says if it was makabel, halav hachi neder, if not for this, and it's a neder. So money, who's the shita? REbY when Yaakov nidri's reason have it. He holds anytime you want somebody to eat from you or feed somebody, that's a neder of reason. Elolav rabbanon, it must be the rabbanon who pligi, and the rabbanon disagree. Right? So you see that the rabbanon do disagree with Yaakov when they say when you want to try and feed somebody, that is considered a neder. So we say REbY and he's maida that it's still a neder, even if all you try to do is get the guy to eat. Behind the nidra having mishum da'amalei lav malkana the manina lach ba'atlei mahanesli. He says, "I am not a king, right? That I should give you things without you giving me back." See, it's the opposite of the dog. The previous Gemara was like he's saying, "I want to be able to share with you." Here he's saying, "What do you think? What do you think that?" I'm not. He says, "I'm not a king, right? Kings give and don't reciprocate, right? Kings give, they don't. I'm sorry. Kings give and they don't have to be reciprocated to." Thank you, Gershon. Anytime Gershon makes a face, I don't know what's going on there, but usually I start making a cheshbon on nefesh and I'm saying something wrong. So anyway, so you got me for that one. Anyway, so a king gives and doesn't take back. So the guy's telling you, I'm giving you, and I want now today's payback day. I want to take back my wine. I want to take wine and I want to take wheat. So that's a strong thing. So therefore, it's considered a neder. One of the cases, kilus kabalti, is you yoytze shalach manas. I know it's the wrong yom tif. It's shloshim yom kadam achag, but of Chanukah. But there's comparisons, right? If a guy, you give somebody shalach manas, he had said this on the shir. What's the name of Rabbi? So he
usually
said,
it's Rosner with you.
it was Rosner. Yeah. So thank you. So I went to a chasana last night. I had no phone calls. I listened to back and forth.
We spoke about Purim this morning by Shmuel.
What about the Kilus Kabalti?
We were talking about it. Yeah, you give when all the people give the Rebbe Sholach Manas because they want to give the Rebbe Sholach Manas. They want the Rebbe to take, but the Rebbe never even sees it.
Right.
It's a very strange thing.
Right, but here's a little different because here it's Ki'ilu Hiskabat, meaning you Yoitze. Let's say I'm giving one Shalach Manas, and the guy says to me, "Hey, I know you have no money, You bought me a nice shalach manas. Ki'ilu is kabalt. Because what's the whole thing with shalach manas? That you're being mahana the guy. So you mahana me. You went, you matriach to get the shalach manas. Givaldik. Ki'ilu is kabalti na mayotza. It means the person giving is a yotza or not. Same type of shaila here. The shaila is how strong it is. Fine. Third raya. Amalei makshisha breidu rachisla ravashi. Tashema. This is a Mishna in Tubla. Nidrei einsin. So we said that if you have a neder and you're an einus, then it's not a neder. Right? Hidiru chaver sheyochel etzloi. Right? If somebody made a neder that he's eating by him, the chalahu aychala, right? They made a neder, they're going to eat together. The chalahu aychala b'nai, or he got sick, or his son got sick. Aisha aku nahar, or the river was ma'akum, and then it overflowed. So then we're saying that's an einus, that is not a neder. Halav hachi nederu, but if not for these einsim, then it would be considered a neder. So again, who is it like? Money, Shimon. It's reason have it. He holds that it's a neder's reason, and therefore it's not a neder. Elalav rabbanon. It must be the rabbanon. Upligi, and he's disagrees. So Gemara answers. So we see a raya that it's not, that the rabbanon disagree with Rabbi Yaakov. So Gemara says no, it's not a raya. Lo'ilam Rabbi Yaakov. We service the adre mizamna. Here you need some diktuk. We service the adre mizamna lizmina. Right? Who's making the neder here? Is it the neder of the balabas, who's making a neder against the person he's inviting? Right? The mizamna is the one who's inviting. Lizmina is the one who's being invited. Loi. Lizmina adre lemizamna. It's talking about where the guy being invited makes a neder to the person who's doing the inviting. The Amar Le told him, "Mizamna sli l'suda safe. Invite me to your meal." Amar Le, so he said, I'll invite you. Neder zeh, and he says, this neder is on you. Right? V'nadar, and he made a neder. Why? The whole neder was pointless. The guy said, I'm inviting you. But he makes a neder anyways. V'chalahu, and then he got sick. Aisha chala b'nai, or his son got sick. Aisha aku nahar, or the river. Harei elu nidrei einsin. That's what we call nidrei einsin. Meaning nidrei einsin is not stam when you, according to Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov, we're going to say nidrei nedarim, and nidrei einsin is not stam where you made a neder against a guy. You don't even need to come on to that according to Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov. Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov holds again, when any time you make a neder trying to get somebody to eat with you or eat from you, whatever it is, that's considered nidrei's reason, and it's not a neder. It's just stam shooting off your mouth in order to get the guy to agree. But nidrei einsin is where the guy himself voluntarily makes a shvur. Fine. Fourth raya. Toshima yeser al kain Amar Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov. I'm lechaver kainim she'ami nene lecha. I'm making a neder that I'm not going to be nene from you. Im iatem esarach etzli, unless you stay by me. The cycling mi paschama, and you should eat with me hot bread. Petishti mi chamin, and you should drink with me hot water. V'alo hikbid kenegdai, and the other guy was makbid against him. He said, I'm not doing it. So af elu nidrei zeruzin, these are all nidrei zeruzin. But loy hoydel chachamim, the chachamim would not moided to him. So there you go. My loy hoydel chachamim. What does it mean that the chachamim were not moided to him? Lav on some base da filu b'kamaisa, that even in the first case in the Mishna, right? Because in the first case in the Mishna, he's trying to get the guy to come eat by him, and you see that the chachamim disagree. So they disagree with Elazar ben Yaakov. The Rabbanon disagree, and they say again, to a neder of reason will not apply to trying to get somebody to eat in your house. It applies in business to negotiate. It doesn't apply when you try and get somebody to eat in your house. Shema mina. So that's what we hear. My haviyallah. What's the bottom line? My haviyallah means also what's the psak. So Toshema Damar Rav Huna halach Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov. The halach is like Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov. V'chein Amar Rav Ada bar Abba halach Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov. The halach is like Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov, that we call it a neder of reason, and therefore it is not a neder. I don't know. We learned that by nedarim you're supposed to go l'chumra. We go l'chumra by nedarim. So far, I have not seen one chumra in nedarim. Has anybody seen any chumras in nedarim here? I'm just so worried I have wrong shot. Right? So far, every single thing in nedarim is l'kula. Right?
No, if he's over on it, he gets.
Well, but the whole shah was saying it's not even nedarim. Anytime it makes it not a neder, not a neder. Oh, you could be matter than neder.
Maybe that's
but only if he was matter. Only
Maybe
if he was matter
it's a
before
reverse
he did it.
chumrah. You say it's not even a neder, so the guy won't be over.
Right. That's you can't be
You're
machmir on
machmir.
something that's not legit.
You're machmir that it's not a neder. Unless he has 16 lawyers and 17 rabbanim signing off, it's not a law, it's not a neder, so you can't be over.
Okay, all right, but okay. So that you're saying that I understood that at any time you have a suffix, whether it's a neder or it's not a neder, so then we say that it.
You understood it that way because you used to learning normal Gemaras. It says the Nedarim is different, so it's different. No, it's the opposite.
Or I don't know. I haven't gotten far enough. Anyways, okay. Let's see the Mishna. Nidre Havai. So what's the next level of Nedarim that are not Nedarim? So neder Havai, exaggeration. Right. This is actually, I don't know if it's negeya for neder, but it's certainly negeya to exaggeration. Omar kainam im loyre isi b'derech hazeh ka'ile mitzrayim. Right. He says, I'm making a neder if I didn't see on this street the amount of people that left Mitzrayim. So that's 600,000. Right. The guy comes in, oh, you should have seen the crowd by this guy's Levaya, Mamish, like Mitzrayim. I'll make a neder that it was like at least the amount of people from Mitzrayim. So obviously everybody knows that there were no 600,000 people there, right? So that if he made a neder about that, it doesn't count because it's clear he was exaggerating. And the other one is if I didn't see a snake like the size of the beam of an olive press. I mean, the guy's saying, I saw a snake so big that you would not believe it. I'm making a neder. So again, we know that that's not a neder.
But these things are possible, Rabbi Yaakov.
Well, that's right. So that the Gemara is the snake one. This way, 600,000.
By Rabbi Vadya's Levaya, no.
Yeah,
by
but
the,
I'm saying
by,
that's
by the Mets parade in '86. By New Year's. I mean,
is that enough? Is that enough that it could that somebody could possibly believe that? I don't know.
I mean, these things happen. It's not something that never
okay, I don't know.
If somebody says like the amount of people that were in Tzias Mitzrayim, you probably think he's crazy. Like, what are you talking about? Nobody talks like that.
So here's the thing. So now, Rabban, what you're saying, this gets into the Machlokes whether you're allowed to use the Eruv. It's chaval. We don't have enough time. Meaning, could be back then there was no such thing as 600,000. Whoever had 600,000, right? Yet they still said you can't make an Eruv.
Oh, we spoke about that, yeah.
Right? Which means that you can't. Which means that we are makbid that a street so wide is a Rishus Harabim. Otherwise, there'd be no such thing as not making an Eruv, right? So then some of the poskim want to say, but nowadays maybe it changed. Maybe it changed. Our cities are so much bigger. Maybe something changed. So we could change Nedarim maybe too. I don't know. I hear. Okay, there's not enough time for that. But either way,
unless Leili Mitzrayim means 3 million.
That could even be worse, right? Doesn't somebody say 600,000? It's not. Doesn't one of them Mefarshim say 600,000 or not?
That's what the article footnote says. Yeah.
The Gemara doesn't say it.
The Jews who left Egypt numbered 600,000 men.
Did they say it from anybody or they say it themselves?
Gershon. This fellow didn't look at this guy was worried about becoming. He didn't even look at the ladies. This fellow, you know what I mean?
Anyways, so okay, l'chayr it's 600,000. Either way, so somebody who makes a neder with exaggeration is considered a neder. Fine. So Tana, now this is wild here. Talk about not having machlokes here. Tana nidre havai mutarin. A neder of exaggeration is mutar. Shvuas havai asurin. A shvua of exaggeration is asur. Now there's a girsa in the Ran, totally the opposite. Instead, it says nidre havai mutarin kach shvuas havai mutaris. I mean, you cannot get more opposite girsais in the Gemara than that. Again, the Gemara, our girs in the Gemara is that nedarim of exaggeration is fine, but a guy makes a shvua, he says, I'll take out a Sefer Torah, and I'm going to say that there was 600,000 people there. If he does that, he's on the hook. That's the way our Gemara has it. And the Ran and the Rush say that no, it's the same way you can make a neder, you won't be on the hook. You can make a shvua, and you won't be on the hook either. Okay, so what's the case of a shvua? What's the case of making a shvua of exaggeration? If he says a shvua, I'm making a shvua if I didn't see in this derech 600,000. So what's the shvua? Meaning normally you make a shvua, you say I'm making a shvua about something. This is about if he says if If I didn't see on the street 600,000, okay, so if you didn't see, so you didn't see. Midam kama, I don't know the lashon midam. I don't know where that comes from. Midam kama means is it anything? He didn't say anything.
You don't know what 600,000 people in this at one time even looks like.
No, but even if it is, he didn't make. What is the shvur? He's making a shvur. What? Right? I'm a shvur im loyra isi b'derech hazeh. If I didn't see on this, I'm making a shvur that what? So that's right. So that's the Gemara's kash. So the Gemara says, okay, Amar Abai, Amar shvur shero isi. Nothing else. He's saying now I made sure that I did see 600,000. So he's making sure. I'm sorry. What's the chiddush? He made a guy makes a shvur. Says I saw 600,000 people in the street. So that's a shvur, right? Again, it's going with our girsa that shvur doesn't count. The other Rishon, we're gonna have to change the whole kasha. Right? But for this, Baruch Hashem, it's almost Shabbos. But the neder come on it. But that's similar to a neder, right? So Elo Amar Rava, what does it mean? Yasru peiros ha'olam alai b'shvua. I'm answering all the fruit in the world on me with the shvua. Im loyra isi b'derech hazeh ka'olam Mitzrayim. If I didn't see like this amount, if I didn't see in this street, ka'olam Mitzrayim. So here the shvua is actually going on fruit. So then that's the question: is that considered now? Can he not eat fruit because of making the shvua? Okay, we have to stop here, but okay, it's a little bit. I have a hard time understanding this Gemara, like exactly what is the shvur, what's not a shvur, but okay, whatever it is.
This example is a neder too.
Whoa. It also sounds like a neder.
Have a good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos. Once you made him now, you can't carry. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. Shvur is not shvur. Is back nedarim, not nedarim. Right.
Doesn't neder mean he's letting them know? It's just what's it called?
Is that coming? That's where it's coming from. Meida, from the word
so.
da.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not sure. Okay, I gotta sign off.
You're finished, right? Oh, okay. Good Shabbos.
Gotta call.
Good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos.
Refuah Shalem.
Amen.
All right.